Hello, everyone. My name is Haley, and I'd like to talk to you all about Wordsworth, who was my preferred of the two men. I preferred him because of his beauty and simplicity in everyday life, his common folk writing, which he pretty much wrote in simple word structure, so anybody who read his stuff would pretty much understand everything he had to say. He had these deep messages that anyone could feel, what his work was trying to say to them. It wasn't something you had to completely, had to take time out of your day to analyze and figure out. You could be like, oh, I've gone through that before, but it also impacts you because it's got deep messaging. He had direct verses about the world that he experienced himself. He wasn't using other people's experiences without their knowledge. He wrote from his heart, which is something I prefer in people who produce literature. He also reflects on himself and reflects on human existence in Tintern Abbey, which is one of the ballads that he wrote. He also avoids imagery that the audience would consider too durious. You know, he had to go out of his way to find these words or explain this imagery, and that's too much. And I appreciate, authors and poets who think that's too much because sometimes it really is, especially when, the meaning and the message behind your work is already super deep. You don't need to go out there to explain the imagery that far. If it's a tree, you don't have to do, too much explaining. Everybody knows what a tree looks like, or the sky, or the ocean. But I specifically love his emphasis on people having to experience something more than once to truly come up with an emotion and an explanation behind it, because there's no one, you know, event fits all. Everybody has to go through something themselves and more than one time to really understand, what just happened to me, what am I feeling about this whole thing. And sometimes that takes a long time to come up with, the specifics, but it's worth it when you do. I also want to point out my favorite lines. This was also from Tintern Abbey. The dreary intercourse of daily life shall ever prevail against us or disturb our cheerful faith, that all which we behold is full of blessings. Normalcy of this quote, it doesn't explain anything other than, just because life hits you really hard doesn't mean you have to change your tune. You could still be a really nice person about everything and keep yourself in good faith. And I completely agree with that. And I hope you enjoyed my response. Thank you.